Hello, and welcome to our very own Aeneid tour, based on the writings of Virgil. Today we will visit 12 of the places that Aeneas visited on his way to ultimately found Rome.
Along Aeneas' journey, he got plenty of signs from gods and goddesses telling him that his newfound land was not the proper place to build his empire.
Our first location, and the setting of the start of the novel, is Troy. At the opening of the story, Aeneas flees the burning city with the household gods called Penaetus, his son Ascanius, his father Anchises. His wife Creusa follows behind but gets lost in the mayhem. Aeneas and other Trojans meet up and build ships.
Troy was a city situated in what is known from classical sources as Asia Minor, now northwest Anatolia in modern Turkey. Today, the hill at Hazarlik has given its name to a small village near the ruins, supporting the tourist trade visiting the Troia archaeological site. It lies within the province of Kanakal, which is also the name of the city where the ruins reside. The ruins were announced as a UNESCO historical site in 1998.
After leaving Troy, Aeneas travels to Antandrus to build his fleet of ships before setting sail towards Italy.
Antandrus was an ancient city located in present-day Turkey on the western tip. Until recently, the site of Antandrus had only been subjected to a basic surface survey, and so there was no archaeological evidence available to determine whether early Greek traditions had any historical validity. Recent Turkish excavations have found hundreds of pieces of Greek pottery from the necropolis, which date to the late 8th and early 7th century BC.
Aeneas and his fleet leave Antandrus and sail north into the Aegean Sea, where they make landfall in Thrace. The land is overgrown with various plants, and as Aeneas begins to uproot them, they begin to spout blood. The plant begins to speak and explains that it is Polydorus. The spears that were used to kill him stuck into the ground and took root, transforming into plants.
It is then explained that Priam sent Polydorus to Thrace with payment to the Thracian king so that he would be protected if Troy fell. When Troy did eventually fall, the king broke his pact with the Trojans, killed Polydorus in order to ingratiate himself with Agamemnon, and ended up keeping the payment.
The city of Thrace is located in modern-day Turkey, near the Greek border. Thrace is called Aeneid nowadays. The mythical founder of the ancient Greek city was said to be Aeneas. Presumably because of the similarity of the names, Virgil has Aeneas found the city after the destruction of Troy.
After noticing the blood spouting from the plants, Aeneas and his crew traveled to Delos, an island in the Aegean Sea. There are many traditional accounts of Delos' origin. It was inhabited in the late 3rd millennium BCE.
Now largely uninhabited, it is a rugged granite mass about 1.3 square miles in area. Among Delos' ruins, most noted sculptural artifacts are fragments of a colossal Apollo and 9 marble lions. 4 main groups of ruins are distinguishable on the west coast: the commercial port and small sanctuaries, the religious city of Apollo, a Huron which means sanctuary, the sanctuaries of Mount Kinthos and the theater, and the region of the sacred lake.
After Apollo spoke to Aeneas and told him to find his ancestors, Aeneas quickly set sail to Crete. Once in Crete, he arrived at the city Knossos, but while sleeping, Aeneas had a vision that the Penates were telling him to travel to Italy.
Crete is the 5th largest island in the Mediterranean Sea, and the largest of the islands forming part of modern Greece. The city was destroyed in 1700 BC, possibly by earthquake and perhaps by invasion, and was rebuilt only to be destroyed again in 1400 BC, possibly by another earthquake, by invaders from the Greek mainland, or both. After Aeneas set sail, they traveled west, skirting the coast of Greece and stopping at the Strophides Islands in the Ionian Sea, which was west of the Peloponnese. Harpies attacked them, were beaten off, but one of them confirmed that Italy was indeed their final destination.
Strophides is a group of 2 small Greek islands in the Ionian Islands. They lie about 27 miles south of the island of Zakynthos. The larger island, Stamphani, has an old fortress monastery built in 1241. The smaller of the islands is Arpia. Both are sparsely vegetated and rocky, and there is a strong avian presence on the islands, which is why hunting has been prohibited. Species include Cory's shearwater and migratory passerines. There is also a large spring migration of turtle doves.
Our next destination on the journey of the Trojans brings us to the ancient city of Buthrotum, where Aeneas meets Andromache, who was the wife of fallen Trojan hero Hector. Andromache was married to a son of King Priam named Helenus, and they lived now in Greece.
The city is located on a hill overlooking the Vivare Channel and part of the Butrint National Park. Inhabited since prehistoric times, Buthrotum was a city of the Greek tribe of the Chaonians, later a Roman colony. It entered into decline in the late Antiquity period, before being abandoned during the Middle Ages after a major earthquake flooded most of the city. The city today is extremely close to the Greek border, but actually located in modern-day Albania, and the most notable remain is the theater, shown here.
Aeneas then set sail, navigating around the tip of Italy and sailing right around the southernmost point of the country, although never stopping to survey the landscape.
The point in Italy is now known as Santa Maria de Luca. The town is known for the large lighthouse and the adjacent sanctuary. Aeneas doesn't stay here for long, and he travels and lands on the Castrum Minerva, where they saw the temple of the goddess Minerva, and a sign of 4 white horses, suggesting that there would have to be war in Italy. They realized that this was not the place to build their city, so they carried onward. Castrum Minerva is still in existence today, and is known as Salentini and Calabria.
Upon rounding Italy's boot, the fleet arrives in the ancient town of Aetna on Trinakria, or modern-day Sicily. This is also the land of the Cyclops. It is during this time that Anchises, the father of Aeneas, passes away.
No one actually knows where this city was located, not even scientists and archaeologists. Many say they found ruins at the base of Mount Etna. Some say a town called Paterna. Others say Taormina, which has a Greek amphitheater that is still in use today. In the distance, you can clearly see Mount Etna.
After Aeneas' father died, they traveled to the other side of the island to a city called, at the time, Drepanon.
It was originally named Drepanon from the Greek word for sickle, because of the curving shape of its harbor. Carthage seized control of the city in 260 BC, subsequently making it an important naval base. Today the town is called Trapani.
After deciding that Trapani wasn't the place to build their city, they set sail. Juno asked Aeolus, the god of winds, to start a storm. Aeneas and his men were caught out at sea in the storm. Neptune stilled the storm, and Aeneas, exhausted, made for the nearest coast, which was Carthage.
Here in Carthage, Aeneas meets the beautiful and intelligent Queen Dido from Tyre, which is modern-day Lebanon, whose husband, Sychaeus, was murdered by Dido's brother. Dido's building a city and planning its laws, but Aeneas and Dido, by the will of Juno and Venus, fall in love. But later, Jupiter directs Mercury to remind Aeneas of his duty to found the city of Rome, and Aeneas makes preparations to leave, without first informing Dido. She is furious, saddened, and later commits suicide on a funeral pyre.
Carthage lies in modern-day Tunisia, and is still a very important tourist and archaeological site. Ruins are of an old castle, dungeons included, an amphitheater, and a second castle with a modern-day museum built next to it that explains some of the history of ancient Carthage.
We want to take the time to thank you guys so much for watching our tour.
We hope you join us on the next episode, where we will be following Aeneas through the later books of the Aeneid.